For context, just so everyone doesn't think I'm constantly just hating on Nintendo 64, this is the kind of game I was playing when Goldeneye was being told to me, hey, this is the best first-person shooter ever. You've never seen anything like it. And I'm like, I don't know, man. This kind of sucks. And, like, I didn't mean like it was terrible. There's obviously some things that Goldeneye has going for it, but I didn't understand why everyone was blown away by it, because I'm like, it's so slow and shitty. Like, why do you think this looks good? I mean, granted, like, it's not like Quake 1 looked quite this nice when I was playing it, but it played like this, you know? Maybe a little less intense. Quake is a little more single stronger enemies, like, or a low amount of stronger enemies, as opposed to this, like, I don't know, that's like an onslaught. The enemy density in Quake is lower by and large. I did like, though, the objective design in GoldenEye. I will say that very much. I think that and the changing objective density for the difficulty levels. So you have different objectives on Agent, Secret Agent, and 00 Agent. I like that a lot. I think that's really cool. It's a cool way to do difficulty. And I think the multiplayer options were very incredible. And I think they paved the way for things like Halo and Forge in particular, things like that, user-created content, because in GoldenEye, everyone could make their own modes. And that was a really cool thing to have in a first-person shooter on a console. But man, the people saying that it was the best first-person shooter, I was like, it's not. It's just not. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, it's not. You guys haven't played Quake. I just couldn't agree to it. I was just like, I can't do it, guys. I can't let you tell me that GoldenEye is the best first-person shooter because Quake and Quake 2 exist. Half-Life was a year away, or Half-Life was like later that year. I think I played Half-Life a year later or something. Because this was not a time that I was totally up to date on PC games. I would usually get them when they're on sale, like, because they'd usually drop in price pretty quickly for at least compared to consoles. So I could get Quake 2 for like $20 if I waited 6 months, you know. And Half-Life, I think, is one I picked up on recommendation from a person who worked at the computer store I worked at. And he explained it in a pretty decent way. It's probably one of the first times I was ever told anything like this. The way the game design in Half-Life is organic. Like, I mean, he didn't use that term, but you find health stations in areas where dangerous work would be being performed at Black Mesa. And, like, things like that. You find ammo at security checkpoints, like, or in enemy vehicles that were being used to transport munitions. So it's not just like there's health and ammo everywhere. It's designed in a way that takes into account. It tries to make an immersive connection between the healing system, the ammo systems, and the level design and gameplay. Time splitters too, yeah. And that's actually a lot of the same people who developed GoldenEye. So I think that when they weren't saddled with N64 hardware and controls, they're like, what did they become? It was the people from Rare who were the first-person shooter guys who left before Perfect Dark Zero to make their, definitely quite a while before Perfect Dark Zero. Might have been before Perfect Dark even. To make, was it Free Radical? Free Radical Designs, who made Time Splitters. And Free Radical was made up of a bunch of former Rare guys who broke off from Rare and made Free Radical, and then made Time Splitters, which was a PlayStation 2 launch game. And honestly, I think smokes GoldenEye. Like, it's like even the original Time Splitters, as far as just because it plays really well. It's dual stick control. It's 60 FPS. It looks good, or at least I remember it being 60 FPS. I should look back on that. I remember being amazed at how smooth it was, though. So I feel like it was, but that might have just been an old memory. It's been a very long time since I played Time Splitters 1. And Unreal Tournament was also or Unreal Champ. No, it was Tournament. Yeah, Unreal Tournament was a launch game for PS2 as well. But Time Splitters had all those multiplayer suite options though that GoldenEye had, so they really kind of went out of their way to make it kind of awesome. You're saying GoldenEye and Perfect Dark aren't smooth? Not at all. They're like 15 FPS. Although I think you can get Perfect Dark and GoldenEye running pretty well now, but they still don't play great. Like they were the beta tests for the Time Splitters games, really, if it was the same people doing it. And Time Splitters didn't have the benefit of having the 007 license or Nintendo backing them, because I think that's the only reason Perfect Dark's really on the map at all. Which is why it's kind of funny that it's now they're going back to it as like, hey, this is going to be the big return to form for Xbox. Perfect Dark is going to be our Last of Us. Although, yeah, that studio we made now, they're kind of fucking up, and we gotta fire them all. So Crystal Dynamics. Oh shit! Whoa, boy! Did not see that coming. And it exalted too. Okay. Well, I mean, you know, I've got a thing for that. Slowdown of GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, I'm guessing, doesn't bother me, but I noticed it now. There's well, but I mean, even under the slowdown, I mean, even its base frame rate is like 15 to 20 FPS. It's not even like it's not even like it's normally 30. They usually run very bad. Though I think actually Perfect Dark might have hit 30 with the that RAM expansion thing. That I think for Perfect Dark, was it optional? Was it optional for Majora's Mask or Perfect Dark? I remember there was one of them that was optional and one of them where you had to have it, and it was controversial. It was interesting though. They're just like, yeah, let's put more RAM. Put more RAM in the N64. We got a little slot on the top just to be throw another like 32 gigs of RAM, not gigs, 32 megs of RAM.